All right. Hi, Juliana. Thank
Hi.
you for thank you for meeting with me and doing this podcast with me. I've been to the people out there who don't know, I have been working with Juliana for 2 years now, and she's my broker. And I would have to say that she is one of the most interesting people that I've met. So Juliana, I think my first question is, how did you get into this industry, this real estate industry?
When I came to America as a foreign student, I decided that I wanted to really make something happen. And so, first, I interview a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
to decide what I want to do. But after all, I decided I want to follow my father's career path, which is uh, entrepreneur, which means he was an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I tried to talk to myself whether I want to go back to the law school. But after all, I realized I'm an immigrant. And then I think all the classmates who came from Taiwan, they all became immigration attorneys.
Okay.
And I want to make a lot of money. So I feel like that's not going to make a lot of money out of immigrants. So I decided, okay, I realized I never liked computers, and then I'm not an engineer. And so after all, I realized, it's likely real estate going to make me a lot of money. And I thought I'm going to have a lot of flexibilities.
Mm-hmm.
So that was how I choose to be in this career. I want to make a lot of money. I want to have a lot of flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
That is very wrong, but that's how I got myself into real estate.
So, did you meet a specific person that got you into real estate, or just one day you thought of it like, oh, I like real estate?
The whole thing is I bought my first house. Then I realized that, oh, there's commission to
Mm-hmm.
be a realtor. And then I realized my first job was $5.25 per hour. And so it's like I feel like I have nothing to lose because I can do anything to make $10,000. So that became a blessing that you got to realize something is good, something is bad, but that was the best thing happened to me that I worked and then the company paid me less than $10,000 a month a year.
Oh, wow.
And then because of realizing when I bought my first house is $4,000 with 5% down. Oh, I said, wow, this is a lot of commission to make. So I decided, okay, then I want to go to the career that I can make a lot of money.
Oh, I see. So you ended up in this industry after you bought your first house.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. My next question that I want to ask is, who would you say is Juliana Lee? Who is Juliana Lee? I've met a lot of people. I've been to a couple of like networking events. I went to this construction networking event 2 weeks ago, right? And the one who was organizing the event is this vice president of marketing for his company, right? And I told him, oh, where I'm from and all that. He's like, oh, Juliana Lee, I know Juliana Lee. And I was like, oh wait, how do you know Juliana Lee? Have you worked with her before? She's like, no, I haven't worked with her before, but after being so long in the Bay Area, there's no way I don't know Juliana Lee. I was like, oh, okay. So yes,
Well,
who would you say you are?
I really think by now I am a brand name, but I also realize truly is the belief that you do something you know that is going to not only make you famous but make you money. um, so first, every time when I am with people like my new team member, I always ask them, "What's your goal?" And then so that's why I think it's important that you know what you want to do. For example, is for me is I want to make money. Okay, but for people, they have, if you want to know what you want to do, then I also think people got to realize this is never an answer for anything you want to do. So you got to realize you got to want to learn. You want to truly and constantly improve. And then that make you humble because you realize there are so many things you don't know.
Oh yes.
And then you realize you got to respect people around you. So all in all, it then became like you got to build your confidence by being humble. Then you tend to attract the right people. And therefore, if you ask me, it's like constantly you want to learn something. You want to be hungry to want to learn something. And in our business, I always told my team members, you got to bring the value. And value means you got to have knowledge. Just like today, there's Prop 19 situation. So my new team member probably did not realize this is important because the clients reach the age of 55. And so again, once you build the knowledge and then you bring the value to people you meet, then people treasure you. Then that's how you build your connections.
Right, that trust, right?
Your trust. So to me, also that translates into pride. You've got to have pride. And then you feel like you can be confident, but you need to work on that. And then another is you got to plan because nothing is going to happen overnight. And so we tend to tease this is not a fast food business. Of course, I have so many stories. I still think it's like you have to do everything. Doesn't mean you can get rewarded right there, but you have to have a plan in order for you to feel like you do everything is in your power. For example, this last month we got this Singapore clients that I met 15 years ago. I did everything, including putting, back then there's no DocuSign. So I brought the hard copy at Pete's Coffee. He refused to buy. And then, but who do I know? He already moved to Singapore a long time ago. But we stay in touch through our monthly soul report. He suddenly showed up. And then he bought a property in Palo Alto. But the whole thing is you truly got to know what you're doing, and then you got to make an impression to people. Then they remember you. And then I'm sure you guys just deal with a most recent Gilbert in Menlo Park. That is another example. Again, I was not the agent to get paid many years ago, but I was the agent who did everything right. And then I study and I share my knowledge. And then the clients always remembered. They did not use their agent who bought the property from. They hired JLee Realty to sell the house after many years. So you always have to be hungry. You have to plan, you make the impression, and you don't expect you get rewards every single time. But it's going to come.
I guess what you're saying is, regardless of the result, try your best.
Try your best. So in a way, it's like building your confidence.
Right.
And you really feel you bring the value to people who's with you. So truly, this business, 99% time you don't get paid. I'm sure you feel that way.
Yes. It's harder than I thought, that's for sure.
But you make the impression. But you just have to be able to stay in this business long enough to be rewarded.
It will come one day.
So that's why it's just like how I decided to be a realtor. It's just like, it's truly, I was totally wrong. I thought like that was easy. But then I realized, gosh, that is truly not the fast way to get paid. And then, so that's why you truly got to perseverance. you always look everything on the positive side.
Yeah.
It don't take no for answer.
Yeah. Oh, the other day you were telling me the De Leon story with Michael Ramcott. That was pretty funny.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes, and so it's like you always you have no place to be negative.
Mm-hmm.
And then so with the Liang story, I still think it's so funny.
Yeah.
My clients really want that property, but the Liang said that I really want to cancel this contract. The clients are not realistic. I said, look, it's up to you and me to decide the value. It's up to the seller and buyer. My buyer want to buy.
Yeah.
So we paid the price, so we got the house, and we both get paid. So again, that is the beauty of this business.
Yeah.
And then you've got to realize who you are and what's your position. And then you do what the best for the clients, you give them advice, but they're on the driver's seat. Okay. So that's why it's like they're just like, this is why I really enjoy being in this business. Never going to be boring, because there's always something, and then you have to be able to pivot, and you've got to be really be creative.
Yeah.
But you've got to have energy.
Yeah.
So.
I have energy. Wait, one sec. Yes, you talk a lot about, perseverance, right? Trying hard, and obviously you're a very successful realtor now after 40 years of doing in this business. But early on, I'm sure you had come across some challenges. Would you share some of them?
Oh, my kind of challenges you guys probably don't have, because I even don't speak enough English. So how about that?
Right.
So I have conquered a language, and also I'm like any brand new people, no brand name, nobody knows me, and so but I'm the person. You got to have the personality. You always want to think what you can do instead of what you cannot do.
Right.
And for me, I said, okay, so I probably decided that I'm going to make myself famous in the Chinese community. Okay, so when I get my first paycheck, I decided, okay, I'm going to invest in the Chinese newspaper. And so from there on, I was in the Chinese War Journal for many, many years, because at least I can start to make sales. And pretty soon I became the #1 sales in my office.
Oh, wow.
And because make money off the people who understand me, I understand them.
Oh, that's funny.
I still remember that I was hired. Finally, I made it myself famous, and then finally, a Palo Alto agent recruited me, because at that time, even because of maybe my language, maybe my production, Palo Alto Realties would not hire me. So, but once I made it myself, sort of like have productions, and I was recruited to the local Palo Alto office. I still remember we have sales meeting. I did not understand a word of my sales manager talk, but I always show up.
Just not.
But anyway, all in all, truly, it is a very much interesting career for me to start always wanting to improve even my language.
Right.
So I also, people know I produce, then people never teach me anything. And so that is pretty much why I was sharing with you guys. And then if you have no production, people look down on you. If you have productions, people try to cut you. They don't want you to do any open houses.
Oh. So it's not good either way.
So it's like, it's better that in the middle. But all in all, once I made myself as a producing agent, then I realized I need to learn the skill. So I pay money to go to different seminars to learn from anyone including knock on doors. Believe me, I did it too. I truly, that's the worst thing that ever happened to me, that I decided that's not me. But guess what? I really know there are people who can make money off knocking on doors.
Yeah.
But all in all, you just have to truly realize it's a very competitive business. Nobody wants to teach you except JLee Realty.
Yeah, that's why I'm lucky.
Yeah, because you're competing with next door, the other agent. So that's how I began realizing that I need to really educate myself through different channels.
Yeah.
And then to learn how to run my business, how to make a sale, and then how to improve myself. And then more and more, you realize this is an entrepreneur business. Yeah, because everyone is entrepreneurs. Nobody, you're competing with everyone. So that's the nature of this business.
Yeah. It's interesting, like how you said about, you had to start educating yourself on all that. Like before I got into this industry, before I met you guys, I swear to God, I haven't read a book in like 3-4 years. But ever since I joined, like it's more like I have to, and it's good because like all the content that I've been reading, I can somehow relate it back into improving my skills in this business. So it's very, very interesting. But yeah, since you have been so successful over the last like 4 decades, what are some of your favorite success stories?
Well, I think there's a saying, it's over till it's over. I actually realized I did this over and over again. I use one example. There was still no internet back then, okay? A street name is still remembered for so many years on Mark Twain. It's very close to the Christmas tree land. So I believe the seller and seller agent, it's an old-fashioned way. You meet the seller with the seller agent. You review all these offers, not email. There's no email back then. And so the agent and the seller were at their home, and then they were just like there for many hours. And that was really a cold winter day.
Wait, so you're telling me that before, like, because I don't know about how people do things before, right? Before, buyer agents have to go to the house to submit an offer.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yes. Basically, because there's no email.
Right.
Yeah. And then the agent told all the buyers, okay, agents, that give me time, okay? But I was the only agent who never left. I stayed on the street with my buyers, waiting. And finally, the agent went out to look something in his car. Probably it's his office is in his car. And so I asked him, am I going to be the one? And then he said no. And he went back to the house. And then my buyers were with me. I said, well, we're not going to get this house. Would you like to buy? My buyer says yes. So we hurriedly to change our offer, but then there's no doorbell. And so the agent and the sellers sit in the house. So I used a white paper, put on the window shield, and then so the agent came out. Actually, it's the seller sold my white paper to ask the agent to come get me. I said, I have no offer. And then, so the seller and seller agent decided, okay, they ratified my offer. But not too long, the door, there's someone knocking on the door. Actually, it's the seller, or they call the seller agent, or they call it not the one who. So they thought they would choose the winner one.
Yeah.
But since I knocked on the door, and then I got the buyer accept my offer. Back then there's no email. That's why even they signed one offer ratified doesn't mean anything. It's not delivered yet. And so I got the offer accepted.
Uh-huh.
So that is like not until it's over, it's not over.
That's interesting.
Okay, it's always the case.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so then another is another favorite. My favorite is the Stanford nurse who called me, uh, want me to sell her house. So I went there, and then I realized if they sell their house, her house, she's going to lose money. And then I told her, you should rent the house out, convert this to be a rental property, and wait for a year or two, and then you created capital loss. You can offset your ordinary income. And so I said, you should not hurry to sell, because right now it's not rental property. You are just going to lose the money. And so I left. I went home, and then I listened to the answer machine. And then the lady called to ask me to go back, because she actually met an agent at the open house. And the reason she's selling her house because she did not want to be a landlord, and she wanted to purchase another house. So after I talked to I talked to her to understand that her qualification, and she can afford to rent the house out, and then to purchase a house. So I advised her. Anyway, so since she called me to get me back to her house, to realize that, oh, I'm going to represent her to purchase a house. That's pretty neat. So yes, I bought her a house. And after 2 years, and then I sold her house. So again, it's knowledge is power.
Yeah.
And then you are waiting not to take advantage of people, because she would have just signed a listing agreement.
Right.
Then I said, no, you don't have to. It's not good for you.
Yeah.
And so we can just hold off until a year or two.
Yeah, it's not a transactional relationship. You actually like their trusted advisor, right? You want to be that.
Yeah, that's again, it's knowledge power. And again, she met another agent at open house, but she felt like, oh gosh, Juliana can walk away from listing. And then I truly like her to think about just my best interest. Again, if you got to have knowledge, and then you also realize what's good for your clients. You don't have to have. It's a long-term greed, not a short-term gain. Okay.
Is that your original quote?
Yes. So that is very important. Always remember that. Whatever is good, and then they realize how truthful you are, and then you earn your clients for life.
Gotcha. I think one of my so the first time I ever hosted a open house for JLee Realty, I was doing it with one of Juliana's top buyer agents, Jennifer, and she was talking to a potential client about our team and everything, and she mentioned this story that I still remember and use it to this day, because of like how amazing it is, right? Like, you helped the Stanford professor couple, right? Our doctor couple, professor couple, get a home after like 4 years of searching, right?
Yes.
You got it for them below the listing price, below the top price.
Yeah.
And then because they love your service so much, they named their newborn daughter after you, right?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes. So early times, I hold a lot of open houses. That's how I met them. But then I educate them. You don't have to pay the highest price. And so I still remember I was competing with 10 other offers. And then I drove them to make the offer. And not only that, I believe they want to pay more than what I want them to. So I believe we got in the house 7.5% less than what they would have paid. Where are you going to get 7.5% savings from anybody? And then so wife was giving birth to a daughter, she decided it's got to be Juliana. Yeah, that's truly always very made me so happy. Yeah.
Any other more do you have?
Yeah.
I'm sure you have a lot more.
Yes. So, yeah. Another one is the clients decided to use my knowledge to purchase a house without me. Of course, again, this is another example that if you didn't get paid, even though you provide a lot of services. And then they torn down their house halfway. No banks want to lend money to them. They came to ask me to lend them money, and I did it. I don't know who else can do that.
Right.
That they use you, they did not buy from you, and they came to ask you to lend them money.
Right. You wouldn't expect it, yeah.
You would not expect that.
Yeah.
But I decided, okay, if they're, I still think they're a nice couple. I said, okay, after all, not only they pay me back, they referred all their medical connections, that they are medical doctors, and then they have really good connections, and then so that was a very good return on my investment. In other words, truly, this is a business. You never know why people do not want to use you, but yet you always want to be sort of like, I use this is Jesus. If someone slaps you on the right cheek, then the other also.
Just hit me twice.
But truly, I really felt like, God, it hurts. But yet I decided, okay, I'm just still when I had to lend them the money. But then I never realized they felt very bad at guilt trip. They refer me so many clients, and then even they bought 2 condos for their. We bought 2 condos for them. It's in Los Angeles. They only use our service, regardless where they are, as long as it's in California. That's time for life. Yeah. So it's kind of really neat. Yeah. Just never know. Yeah. But truly, you've got to always be tough. Have that tough skin. But you've got to be able to have money to support yourself during the hard time.
Right. You know, I have been involved with you, right, as a recently transaction in Santa Clara where you pretty much did a similar thing, right?
Yes.
And I think that was when I realized how much of a people business, real estate is, right? And after the transaction was, as you know, was super bumpy, right? Like it was, I think the total close time was like 3 months or something like that, right? Super bumpy. But once it ended, once it closed, I remember them coming to our office without even telling us, right? But I think we were having our book club meeting at that time, I think. Yeah. And they brought peaches and kiwis, and they bought gifts for all of us like who were involved in that transaction. And then they gave my first time ever like receiving a thank you card as well. And I was like, okay, wow, this is a people's business, and that made me happy. And that's the feeling that I want to keep chasing.
Yes. That's why you truly always remember it's the people. It's not just the money. It's money is on the side. They will follow you. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. Just from our conversation, I can tell like how much you're passionate about real estate, right? But how has real estate changed your life?
Like 40 years ago, when I wanted to be in the business because I want to make a lot of money, I thought this is an easy way to make money. But after all, after 40 years, my first 20 years was truly just paying the dues. I don't know how many people can be in the business without getting paid for 20 years. That happened to me. But the second 20 years, it's just like, gosh, I never thought I could do whatever I have done. Especially, I started with $4,000. And now we own our office building. I own a lot of real estate that I don't want to even share. So truly, I really think you have to always work hard. I'm sure everyone works hard. Most of people work hard. But then you got to have luck. So once you work hard, then there's luck. Then if everything comes together, that's what happened, how I explain my last 20 years. Yeah. So I have everything that I dreamed to have.
Right.
That I never thought I would be able to. It's the right place, but you have to be ready.
You have to be ready. So be prepared for when that luck comes.
That's right. But I'm sure a lot of people are working hard. But doesn't mean they all have the kind of luck. But you've got to be ready. Yes. How's that?
Gotcha. Yeah. It will come.
Yes, it will come.
It will come.
Yes.
Another thing that I, every Monday meeting we talk about this, right? Our mission statement. And I thought that was pretty interesting. But I'm curious, how you guys came up with that. The mission statement is Juliana Lee team pursues a wealth-building dream for clients by helping them buy or sell their real estate with the most exceptional customer service and highest integrity. Tell me a little bit more about that.
If you look, actually, everyone has a dream. So how are we going to make that happen? For one, I believe our team have to really truly convinced this is the right career. So then you can help the clients to build their future together. And that's what I said, it's a lot of services, free. So you have to always remember, you give it the best service, and even you will not get paid at that moment. And then that's so-called highest integrity. Because every time I tell you all these stories, at times I don't get paid. But I know people remembered me. Yeah. So that's why this is such a great mission statement. You realize you are here in the long run. It's not going to make it just trying to get paid suddenly or overnight. Yes.
Okay. Good. All right. Let me ask some. We can skip the part. Cut this part. Let me ask some fun questions if you're open to it. Okay. So let me ask some quick fire questions. What is your favorite food?
Where's what?
What is your favorite food?
Oh, my favorite food is lobster.
Lobster. Oh wow. Okay. Only someone who has sponsors us can say that. And what is the best place you've traveled and why?
What's the best place
you've traveled?
I think it's likely it's going to be it's Yosemite.
Yosemite. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
I see.
The reason is I still remember that was my first visit to National Park as being a foreign student. For 20 foreign students rent one cottage. And it was so beautiful. That's why you remembered. Yeah.
I see.
Like you were so new and you know nothing, but it's like, wow, this is such a beautiful place. So it's part of the memories.
I see. Did that make you want to stay here?
Yeah. I think America truly is a country. There's so many issues, but I cannot imagine being a foreigner that I was able to be the #1 in the whole America to compete with 125,000 agents. That's never happened to Taiwan because you are the foreigner. That's why I really think it's very cool. At that moment when I was standing on the stage to show I made 4 million, I was thinking, gosh, I never imagined I could make so much money in a year. So
land of the opportunity, right?
it's truly, it's as long as you work hard,
Mm-hmm.
and even you are a foreigner.
Yeah, I'm a foreigner too. Yes.
Yeah.
And last thing, I know you read a lot, and every morning, Juliana will actually, bring Wall Street Journal article for me every morning, put it on my desk. He's like, she puts it on, she laughs, and she leaves. In the beginning, I was like, I didn't read news, right? I didn't read books, anything like that. But you know, at the beginning, I was like, all right, I'm gonna force myself to at least read 3 articles a day, and then now it goes on, and I'm like, I'm reading for fun now. And it's true, like, a lot of the knowledge you read there, you can actually use to, talk to your clients and stuff, because they do ask you, like, what the condition of the economy is, and you don't want to be someone that don't know.
Exactly. So I truly is convinced that it's like you're in business.
Mm-hmm.
That is business language.
Yeah.
And then, even though it's very painful for me, 40 years ago, I subscribed to Wall Street Journal, but I truly have hard time to even read it because my English was not there.
Mm.
But after you force yourself to read, finally you realize there's like you're familiar with even the format. And then you realize you truly can converse with your clients or your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's building up your confidence too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like you have something to share.
Yeah.
So I think Wall Street Journal truly changed my life, and then I share this with people who's around me.
Not everyone reads.
I really like that. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the contribution I made to people who is with us, with me. Yes.
Okay, so but the question I want to ask is, what's your favorite book that you would recommend to anyone?
I still think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich. Oh, yeah, that's the.
Yeah.
When I became an agent, that's the book that Juliana bought me.
As a matter of fact, that was the I have the tape. I was working. That was my real job. I was listening to that tape 1,000 times, and then truly, I really think it's like there's hope.
Mm.
Yeah, as long as you are on the right track,
Mm-hmm.
and then also always believe, as long as you have the right personality, and then right, like you will attract people who are like you.
Mm.
That's why the better you make yourself, the better people you attract.
Mm-hmm.
How's that?
I like that.
Yeah, that's why confidence.
Yeah.
Within. You have to really always hungry for wanting to learn.
Yes. And the more you know, the more confident you become.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's it. Thank you so much. This is interesting. We should do more.
Thank you. This is a great idea.
Yeah.
That made me think what happened.
Right.
No language. I'm still learning English.
Yeah.
Today, but
I mean, even in this conversation, I learned a lot more about you, and I learned a lot more about how to do things as well. I think very
just keep
interesting.
doing and doing what you believe.
Yeah.
That's why you have to always like why.
Mm-hmm.
Why you are doing this? What do you want to do? But I really think nothing wrong to tell people I want to make money.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good motivation. Thank you.
Thank you.